Hello everyone! So today we're going to be packaging up this beautifully variegated pink princess philodendron. I've had it for a few months now, and it's been rooting in this moss medium, and I just recently sold it to a buyer from Georgia, so it's time to get packed up in its nice hot weather packaging and start its trip! So let's start packing. So I have this beautifully variegated pink princess here that I'm going to be shipping out to Georgia. I'm just going to add what's called polyfill, which is basically stuffing for pillows. And I'm going to put this around the top of the pot, making sure that the leaves are not touching any of the medium, and ensuring that the stem is properly covered. And also ensuring that the sharp edges along the corners of the pot are properly covered, just to protect against leaf damage during shipping. Now what I'm doing here is I'm taping down the polyfill, just to make sure it stays in place. And while taping, I tried to avoid having the tape touch the leaves or the base of the plant, just in case things get moist during shipping. I don't want to cause any rot or any damage. So I'm just going to continue taping. I'm going to try to hold it up to camera here so you get a good idea of all the tape that's covering that polyfill. I'm also putting my finger along the edge of the pot to make sure all the sharp edges are covered. Alright, now this is my favorite part. So you can see that I have cut one of those plastic drinking cups in half, and I'm actually going to put it over the top of the pot and then tape it down. And what this is going to do is this is going to actually protect the structure of the plant and also just ensure that the plant doesn't get damaged as much during shipping. It's just kind of like a safety net that I like to use. And then here I am struggling a little bit with the packing tape. Once I eventually figure it out, I'm just going to break it off and then have a big long strip all around the top of that little addition, just to ensure that it stays closed and doesn't wiggle around. And I'm taking some more tape, just going to ensure that it's properly taped down in the position that I want it to be in. And I'm also double checking that no leaves are folded, and also double checking that no leaves are caught in the seal that I had just made in between the top of that pot and then the base. And I'm just holding it up to the camera here, just to give you a clear shot of what I've been working on so far. And now I've just grabbed some polyfill, and I'm going to fill all the negative space inside the top of that cup, ensuring that the leaves are not touching any of the plastic and are also not bent. And while I'm doing this, I also try to lift the leaves up a bit, just so there's not a lot of pressure on the attachment site between the leaves and the stem. Now I've just sped this part up here so then I can show you the final product, all the polyfill around that cup. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some tape, and I'm going to tape that polyfill down just to make sure it stays in place. And then here's the final product. You see those two pieces of tape up top just holding everything together. Alright, so now it's time to start assembling our box here. I'm just going to speed this up just a touch. Now I'm just going to go grab some of this extra paper that I've had. I'm going to measure it into this box and just place it at the bottom of the box just to provide some padding when I place the plant inside. And the method that I'm using here today is what I call my summer packing method. So I'm not using a ton of polyfill, or I'm not using a lot of insulation in this case. I did check the temperatures in Georgia where I'm sending this plant just to ensure that they're not going through any cold spells or heat waves, because I may have to change my packaging accordingly. I've just reached over to grab my bubble wrap for the next step of this packaging expedition. Struggling with it a little bit here, as you can see. Kind of laying it out a bit flat, put the pot down on its side, and I'm just measuring how much bubble wrap I want to do. I normally do about 2 to 3 layers of bubble wrap. And here's the final product. I do like to tape the edges down, just because it makes it a little bit sleeker of a look. I'm definitely not the best packer, but this is a pretty good packing job for me. Placing the plant in the box now that I've already lined with some brown paper at the bottom, just kind of showing you what it looks like inside. Now I'm grabbing some more brown paper, and I'm going to fill in all the negative space inside the box. And now I'm doing here what's called the shake test. Essentially, I'm closing the box and shaking it around to ensure that I don't hear any movement. And I did hear a slight bit of shifting, so I'm just going to add a little bit more brown paper and then try it again. There was no shifting this time, so I'm just going to hold up kind of what I've been doing, just give you guys a visual of what's going on. I'm going to put a bit of weight down on this box to ensure that the edges are closing properly. And I'm going to grab some packing tape, tape it up. Add a couple stickers, and then it's ready for its new home. Thank you all so much for watching. Just make sure to like and subscribe to the video so you can watch more, and have a great rest of your day.